In this heart-wrenching episode of Coronation Street, a sad death storyline takes center stage, leaving viewers gripped with emotions. As the devastating loss unfolds, the eyes turn to Paul, who faces an excruciating challenge of coping with this profound tragedy. Coronation Street to air sad death storyline next week. Will Paul be able to cope with the loss? Coronation Street will air a sad death storyline next week, as Paul Foreman gets some upsetting news. Paul will learn that his friend Shelley Rossington, who had MND, motor neurone disease, like Paul, has died. Going over to George Shuttleworth at The Undertaker's, Paul works out the funeral arrangements and explains that he's written some words about Shelley. He shares that he'd like them to be placed with her body. Paul is obviously struggling both physically and mentally right now following his diagnosis, but will be able to cope with losing Shelley. The role of Shelley has been played by Natalie Amber, an actress who had previous soap appearances on her CV before Corrie. Amber previously appeared in Casualty and as two different characters in Doctors in both 2016 and 2018. She had also done theater work and popped up in Silent Witness, Life and Paranoid. After becoming a wheelchair user after an accident, Amber used her platform to advocate for hiring more disabled people in the entertainment industry, both in front of and behind the camera. Paul actor Peter Ash previously opened up about his character being diagnosed with MND and how important he thought it was to bring attention to the disease. When you're playing a character with an illness or a condition, there's so much responsibility to get it right and not to cheapen it. We want to represent it properly, he said. We're acting it, but there are people watching who are living with it. It's very important to get it right, be spot on with it and portray it sensitively.